guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you will stick around and subscribe. Today's video is going to be a quick tutorial. I don't do tutorials too often, but I uploaded a picture of this look that I did the other day on Facebook and asked if there would be any interest in a tutorial, and I got a few hits on it, so I wanted to show you guys how I obtained that look. So if you are interested in seeing a warm sunset heat inspired eye look, then just keep watching. So to get right into it, all of my face makeup is on. I did go ahead and prime my eyelids with some Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I just patted it all over my lid and then set it down with a 99-cent Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow single in the shade Brûlée. And it just kind of gives my eyes a nice base to start with. So the palette I'm going to be using today to obtain this look is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I talked about this in my favorite eyeshadow palette video, and you can see there's a ton of shades here. So I'm mostly going to be working with yellows and reds and a little bit of orange. So we will get started here. The first thing I'm going to do is go into this orange shade here called Creamsicle. And I'm just going to take that, I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to start buffing that into my crease. Just gently, and I am using the It Brushes for Ulta Airbrush crease brush. So I'm just buffing that into my crease, and this is my transition shade that you'll be seeing a little bit of at the top of the lid when the eye look is finished. I'd never done a look like this, and then the other day I was like, you know what, let's play with it and see if it would look good on me, because I'm pretty fair skinned, and I thought this is probably not going to look very good on me with being so fair. I'm starting to get a little bit of a tan this summer, but I went ahead and tried it, and I was really happy with how it turned out. I would like catch glimpses of myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, my eyeshadow looks really nice today. So like I said, I threw this out on Facebook, and I asked if anybody would be interested in seeing a tutorial, and so here we are. Okay, so we've got that transition shade buffed into the crease. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with this Luxie 227T brush. This is a little mini brush that I received in my BoxyCharm, but the bristles on it are really soft, and I really like this brush. So I am going to spray this down with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, wet my brush, and I'm going to go in to the shade Hunts. It is this red kind of rust color here. And I'm just going to apply that all over my lid. The other day when I was doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, this is really, really bold. Like, am I going to be able to pull this off? But it'll look a lot different at the end, so. If you don't wet your brushes to do your eyeshadow, I mean, it's not necessary, but it just intensifies the color a little bit when you wet your brushes down before you apply. And it looks, I feel like it looks a little bit closer to what's in the eyeshadow pan whenever I do wet my brush. It doesn't come off as sheer, I guess. Okay. So I've got that rusty red shade laid down all over my lid, and the next thing I'm going to do is go back with my Airbrush crease brush, and I'm going to dip back into that yellow, that orangey yellow a little bit, and I'm just going to blend to try to get any kind of harsh lines out. Blending, I think, is a huge part of this eye look, so you want to make sure you are taking your time if you want it to look right. And just use that creamsicle color and blend everything out so it looks nice and there are no harsh lines. So there are those two shades. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with like a little small pencil brush, and this is the Mikasa 310, and I'm going to dip into these two shades here. They are Roxanne and Jazz. So this shade and this shade, I'm going to dip into a little bit of both of them, and I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to put that in the outer corner, the outer third of my eye, and kind of go into the crease just slightly. Just kind of gives a little bit more depth to the outer corner. I know in my last video, or not my last video, but my video about my favorite eyeshadow palettes, I mentioned how versatile this palette is, and this is just a really good example of one of the many things you can do with this palette. So I'm deepening this up just a little bit more, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a clean brush and blend again, and this is the Mikasa E300 brush. So I'm going to blend out, kind of make sure everything looks a little bit more uniform and is melding well together. I want everything to look really soft. Okay, so I've got that last shade in. Now, the shade I'm going to use the last that I feel like pulls the whole look together is the shade called Queen, and it is this gold shade right here. It's very sparkly, shimmery gold, and I'm not going to use a brush for it. I'm just going to use my ring finger. I'm going to dip into it and then just pat it on my lid where I want. I'm going to go about halfway into my lid with it. This shade is just the icing on the cake for me. It just makes the whole look change in such a good way. Now, I'm going to take my blending brush, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to blend. And this is that same Mikasa E300 brush. I am going to clean up a little bit here in this corner because I went a little too high. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Baby wipes, they're so good for everything. Now, I'm going to kind of look over and see if I need to add anything anywhere, and I do feel like I need to add a little bit more to this outer corner. So I'm going to add where I need to. And then I'm going to blend again. Okay, so I am done with eyeshadow, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take this other Luxie brush. It is a Luxie 221T. It's kind of got a flat head to it. And I'm going to take this brush and dip into a couple of these colors and just run it underneath my eyelid right here to add a little bit more depth to the look. And I'm just going to push it out to where it meets the corner of my eye here. And I'm using the two color, the Roxanne and Jack's colors to do that. Now, I may run into this gold color, just very slightly go into this gold color and go over that with the gold. That gold is gorgeous. Now Jaclyn Hill does have new palettes coming out. She's releasing all of the colors that she couldn't include with this. So I guess she had about, I don't know, 60 more colors that she couldn't include. So she just announced maybe a week or two ago that she has teamed back up with Morphe, and they're going to release the Jaclyn Hill Vault. So there's going to be about 60 new shades. I want to say 60. Something close to that, new shades, and you can get the whole vault for like $49. This palette is $38, and I've kind of looked at the vault. I don't know if I'll be purchasing any of them because I feel like I can get what I need from this palette. So I don't know if I'll buy that one or not, but I've really enjoyed this one, and I feel like I can get through any look with it. So, and instead of using a penciled liner today, I am going to go into the palette, and I'm going to use this dark brown here to line my eyes. That shade is Central Park. So I'm going to wet my brush with the MAC Fix Plus. And I just find that doing this makes the eye look a little bit softer. This brush is the Mikasa E100. And don't be afraid to get your brush really wet when you're lining with these. Okay, so I got a little bit of liner on. I'm not going to line my bottom waterline or anything, but I am going to add some mascara. So I'm going to curl with my Uemura eyelash curler and try not to pinch my eyelid. That happens at least a couple times a week. The mascara I'm going to be using is the Tarte Tarteist Lash Paint in black. So that is the completed eye look. As you can see, they are a little rusty, a little gold. I'm really liking this look right now. It's not something I would wear every day, but I think it is really pretty for like a summer evening. Red, orange, I just love it. I love it. So I'm gonna go in with a lipstick. Y'all know I'm not really a matte kind of girl, and I'm really not really a brown kind of girl either. But since my eyes are kind of on the warm side today, I didn't do like a really pinky blush. I did more bronzer. And so I want to go in with like a brown shade of lip. This is the Girlactik Beauty Matte Lip Paint, and the shade is Posh. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this. Okay, so this is really not a color I would normally use, but I got this in BoxyCharm and I saved these just in case, and I'm kind of glad I did this time because this kind of matches the look I'm going for today. So I will let that dry down, and then once it's dried down, I'm just going to add a little bit of lip balm to it, and this is just the Honest Company Sweet Orange Vanilla Lip Balm. So it feels pretty dry. So there you have it. That's the completed look. It's really easy look to achieve. You just need to make sure you have time and you're blending really well. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. Just click the little red subscribe button down below. And if you like this content, please leave me a thumbs up so that I know that you're enjoying this type of content. And turn on your notification bell so that when I do upload new videos, you'll be notified of it. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.